What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a new video. Now in today's video, we're going to be looking through Bitcoin and crypto and altcoin analysis, technical analysis. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the charts because I think some interesting things are happening. So the first thing we're going to look at is Bitcoin. Okay, so one thing that has happened in the last couple weeks, right, is that we've seen a big correction, okay, somewhat of a big correction. Now, I want to put this in perspective. A lot of people are thinking, oh, this is over, it's done, like it's over, the bull run's over. I will only say it's over once there's more confirmation that it is over. Until it is over, it is not over, okay? There's a famous saying in trading, it's the trend is your friend till the end, okay? So this is Bitcoin. So we can see that it made a low in November of 2022 at around $15,000 and made a new high at around $109,000, right? Now, if we put a fib retracement on that, we will get some main levels. So the 38.2% retracement is at 73K, which this aligns perfectly with the previous swing high, right? So this would make a good area to enter if we're going to go there, but I don't think so. And I'm going to explain why. And then the next important level is the 0.236% retracement, which is sitting at 87,362. So this is going to be important resistance that we have to pay attention to. Now, one thing you're going to realize right off the bat is that actually the Bollinger Bands, we dropped all the way to around 76,000 and we bounced off the Bollinger Bands. So Bollinger Bands usually tend to act as areas of support, as you can see here. But every time we have a candle close beneath it, it tends to lead to further correction to the downside. Now that hasn't happened yet. So until we close under the Bollinger Band, we are still looking quite good. Now let's go into the daily time frame. So if we go in the daily time frame, so there's more interesting things that are going on. Now, the thing that I do want to talk about is that the fact that we have this big downtrend. So this downtrend has started here. So the 30th of January, and we can see we got rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, rejection here. So I'm very confident that as soon as we break this downtrend, then we're going to see more momentum to the upside. Now, there's more things in our way. So firstly, it's the weekend. So there's the CME gap sitting at 84,080, right? So we're going to tend to retest this area before we can move higher, if we go higher. Now, if we start breaking above this downtrend here, right? And we break above 86,000, then I think there's going to be more continuation to the upside. Now, also, this red line right here is the 23.6% retracement that I showed you guys before. Now, this is going to be a very important level. As you can see, we perfectly rejected from it before. So that gives me more confirmation that as soon as we break this downtrend, this line of resistance, and the 23.6% retracement, we're going to see a lot more momentum to the upside. Now, the Bollinger Bands are constricting. So if we break above the Bollinger Band, we're going to see more momentum upwards. And also, there's a lot of shorts that are going to be closed there. Okay. Now, in this video, I want to look at altcoins. Okay. A lot of people are talking about altcoins. Are altcoins done? Is this alt season canceled? Is it delayed? What is going on? So I want to show you something that's quite interesting. Okay. Now, if we go into the altcoins, so Bitcoin dominance, if we go in Bitcoin dominance, I've been paying a lot of attention to this chart as of recently. So in November, we had this high here and we had this massive drop, right? We had this massive drop in Bitcoin dominance, which led to altcoins outperforming Bitcoin a lot. We saw a lot of coins doing 120%ers. And yeah, and ever since then, this drop right here, we kept coming back up with altcoins performing not as good. Now, I think if altcoin is going to start, it's going to start very, very soon. I'm going to say in 2 to 3 weeks maximum. It might even start this week. And the reason why I'm saying this is that if I go into the weekly time frame, I don't see a lot of people talking about this. But if I go into weekly time frame, something kind of incredible is happening, okay? So firstly, we have a massive, let me remove this. Firstly, we have a massive bearish divergence on the MACD. So this is very rare and it tends to be a very strong signal. It's even a stronger signal than RSI, than the bearish divergence on RSI, because MACD divergences are a lot less common and show that there's it's more interesting. It's more powerful than the RSI bearish divergence. Now, this bearish divergence has been happening since 2023. We made a high here in 2023 around here, and now the MACD has been trending downwards while the price is coming up. Now, one thing that's very interesting, we had this pennant, right? So this big, if I zoom out a bit, we've created this pattern, right? Upwards resistance, downward support. We've been creating this since 2022. Now, something that's very interesting that just happened, and tomorrow this candle is going to close, is that we just had a break under this level. So this is where it's going to get very, very interesting. So it hasn't broken down this level as of yet, but it may happen very, very soon. Because if I go in the daily time frame and I zoom in a bit, so since basically this big drop we had in December, we've created this new support line. Now, look what just happened. We just closed below this support line. So what's happening next? So right now, the pennant is basically this line here, right? This whole line here. So basically we broke beneath this support line, and what I think is going to happen is now we're going to start dropping down. And also if I go in the weekly, time frame, what you're going to notice is that we're losing momentum on the MACD. So not only do we have a bearish divergence in the MACD, but we're starting to lose momentum. And tomorrow this candle is going to close, so we're going to get very close to actually closing and creating a death cross, so a bearish crossover. And so once that happens, as you can see, this pennant, we're most likely this is gonna give us the momentum, this bearish cross, to break beneath this pennant, and then we're gonna see a big drop. So this has to happen, and if it happens very soon. We don't want it to regain momentum to the upside, but right now it's looking good. There's the bearish divergence, there's gonna be the bearish crossover, and we have this pattern that we're gonna break to the downside. Now, if this happens, we're gonna drop to this level, 60%, and then we may actually start alt season. So if this happens very, very soon. And on the daily, it looks like we may have started somewhat of a downwards trend for the Bitcoin dominance, because we have the crossover, bearish cross, but also we just broke down this important line of support. So I hope you guys like this video. Just make sure that you stay updated with Bitcoin. So anything above $87,000 for Bitcoin with a daily close should lead to more upwards momentum. And now this is the chart for Bitcoin dominance. We also have the Bollinger Band, the lower Bollinger Band sitting at 61.08%. So if we break below that, altcoins might start outperforming as well. So I would say if you guys are worried about altcoins, I would say stick in them for another at least a month. And if nothing changes, then you can switch more to Bitcoin. But without any further ado, I hope you guys like this video. Comment down below your projections and what you think Bitcoin and altcoins are going to do next. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.